Hey guys, today we're drawing the life of an unconventional monster. He's not someone who was born as a monster. Circumstances made him into one. We're talking about the evil version of our beloved SpongeBob, the Spongebob.exe. When we hear SpongeBob, we hear cuteness. The Spongebob.exe is the stark opposite of whatever the SpongeBob represents. The evil SpongeBob is also a yellow sponge. However, he's strong and hard. His body is not soft, but hard like a stone. He has the square pants, which is his identity. The normal, large, rounded pair of white eyes has turned into pitch dark. The dark eyes have burning red pupils inside them. There's always a wicked smile on his face. Inside the mouth, the Spongebob.exe has 2 rows of crooked, sharp teeth. We can also see that the inside of the mouth is dark. In fact, the mouth is filled with a black, tar-like substance. The tar will always be dripping down. The same black tar comes out of the black eyes also of the Spongebob.exe. Unlike common perception, the Spongebob.exe is not turned large or huge because of its devilish transformation. It's turned powerful and toxic, which is more than enough. So how did an innocent sea sponge turn into a monster? What happened at Bikini Bottom that caused this accident? The inhabitants of Bikini Bottom have been living a peaceful life for so many years. SpongeBob was one among them, who was the sweetest friend to everyone in the town. He's the main chef of the restaurant named Krusty Krab, which is owned by the miser Mr. Krabs. SpongeBob loved his job and his life underwater with his close friend Patrick Star, the starfish. Another friend, Sandy Cheeks, an athlete squirrel, and Squidward, an angry squid. They lived with minor and major adventures and tackling competition with the nearby restaurant named Chum Bucket. The Chum Bucket is owned by Sheldon Plankton, who's always trying to find the recipe of Krusty Krabs. There's always a tug-of-war between SpongeBob and Plankton, where Plankton fails miserably each time. One fine day, SpongeBob's friend, Patrick Star, came to the restaurant. SpongeBob was talking with him, and suddenly Patrick's poisonous tongue came out of his mouth, and he bites SpongeBob. This poison tongue is only used with enemies, and SpongeBob has never seen Patrick using this. There was no provocation from SpongeBob. It was a shocking and sudden attack. SpongeBob was severely injured by this tongue. In fact, the tongue is not just a tongue. It has teeth attached to it, which tore through the stomach of the SpongeBob. The SpongeBob was torn into 2 halves. His upper and lower half were separated, and he was shivering to death. SpongeBob couldn't believe his eyes. He never expected Patrick, his best friend, to harm him. After the attack, Patrick had gone totally stuck. He was still like a stone. Before seconds of his death, SpongeBob realized that he was being carried by someone. It was none other than the evil man of the Bikini Bottom, Plankton. That's when the mystery unfolded in front of SpongeBob. This was the master plan of Plankton. Plankton took SpongeBob to his lab, the lab where he makes all kinds of weapons to vandalize Krusty Krabs. There he'd made a machine which can turn anyone into a devil slave. He wanted SpongeBob to be his weapon to defeat Mr. Krabs and shut down his restaurant. So he made this machine and tried it on SpongeBob's friend, Patrick Star. Patrick Star was under the spell of Plankton when he attacked SpongeBob. In fact, the real Patrick was dead. It was the devil form of Patrick, which was made by Plankton to attack SpongeBob. SpongeBob knew what was happening with him. However, he could not react or resist. There was nothing he could do. He was put inside the machine, and within seconds, SpongeBob lost all his senses. He forgot everything about himself and his life at Bikini Bottom. A new devilish version of SpongeBob was created, named Spongebob.exe. This version was created to destroy the Krusty Krabs. Soon, Plankton unleashed the devil to the world. And what happened next was truly shocking. Spongebob.exe was not what Plankton expected. The monster destroyed Krusty Krabs as well as everything else. He destroyed the chum bucket also. This sponge monster was no longer under the control of Plankton. There occurred some error in the making of the devil version. Spongebob.exe killed Plankton as well as other inhabitants of Bikini Bottom. Soon, there remained no evidence for the existence of such a city underwater. So, does this monster attack humans? Here comes the scariest part for us. Spongebob.exe has reached outside the sea. He's now dwelling in cities, destroying each city one by one. When he attacks a place, nothing's left behind. He kills the people and destroys everything physical. The Spongebob.exe has this superpower of creating any weapon out of thin air. If he wants to kill you, he'll be standing with a knife or a revolver. If he wants to break a building, he'll be with bulldozer. If he wants to explode a building, he'll be with a bomb. You get the idea, right? Yeah, that's how this monster works. There's nothing going on in his head other than destruction. Spongebob.exe is like an error robot. There's only one program going on in his head, and that does not include peace or compromise. He's not even a real person to logic with. Plankton, who made him, is also dead. The machine using which the monster was made is also going to heavens. There's literally no way to find out how this monster was made and what can stop him. Scientists are trying their level best to find the components of this monster machine by studying broken remains of the monster. These are collected from various attack places. If at all we can crack at least one bit of what this monster's made of, rest can be possibly done. Our science has advanced so much that it's safe to say that this can be done. However, for that we need time. The monster's not stopping anywhere. He's not taking rest or slowing down. Our only prayer is that humanity should survive until we find a solution to tackle this monster. So, there guys. That was the Draw My Life video. If you like horror stories like this, hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss any episode. See you in the next one, and stay safe.